Alright then guys, welcome back to the workshop. So I've had this saw for about a week set up and I've still not made a single cut on it. So in this video I'm going to run through the process of getting it set up for accurate cuts. So enjoy the video. So the intro you've just seen was edited by Dean over at Woodwork Journey. He didn't ask me to give him credit, but I think it's only fair. So if you do see this, Dean, thanks mate, I really appreciate it. And I'll leave a link to Dean's channel in the video description, so be sure to pop across and say hi. I'm going to start off by removing the front rail and then leveling out the side and rear extension tables. Right, so I've clamped a straight edge across the cast iron table at the back, and because of the slots that it's got in the rear extension, that allows you to get some clamps through. So I've clamped it across the cast iron bed at the back, and I've done the same at the front. So what this allows me to do is level the entire side extension in one go before tightening the bolts, because if I was to just clamp it at the front and tighten the front bolt up, by the time I've messed around altering the back end, once I've clamped that up, it could alter the front. So just use a straight edge on the front and the back and then tighten it all up together. And then you can do the exact same front to back for the back extension table. So with the bolts all done up, I'm just going to go back before I move on and just check that nothing's moved. That looks good at the front. So now let's see, that looks good at the back. And then the same front to back, just to make sure that we're all level, and that looks good. And that looks okay. So I know that's as good as I'm going to get it. So now I've got the tables as level as I can get them, I can put my rail back on again. So that's just a case of putting it back between where the bolts are and then tightening all the bolts back up. So the tables are now level, front rail's back on. Now I want to align the mitre slots with the blade to make sure they're at a perfect 90 degrees. So on this particular saw, the motor and the saw arbor assembly are all mounted on trunnions which are bolted directly to the cast iron chassis of the saw rather than being mounted to the underside of the table itself. This causes a lot less stress on the surface of the table. So in order to get the blade running parallel with the mitre slots, rather than moving the blade to match the mitre slot, you move the entire table to line up with the blade. And to do that, there's two bolts either side which you undo, and that allows you to pivot the entire table. So it's just a case of tweaking it, and the way I've gone about checking it, I mean, it'd help if I had one of these that weren't bent like this one, but what I've done is I've put this in the mitre slot, tilted this end down, and because mine's a little bit bent, I have to kind of tilt it back because it's a little bit twisted. And then once this bit is flat on the table, this is firmly in the mitre slot, I move the blade, you should be able to hear it's just kissing the teeth on the blade. And then if I slide this down to the back and hold it in exactly the same way, making sure it's pushed tight against the side of the mitre slot and that it's sat flat on the table, just kissing the teeth that side. Now you don't have to use the teeth, you can use the flat side of the blade itself, again using the combination square. So you just push combination square out so it's just kissing the blade, and then you want to lock that off in place. Now when I hold that there, you should be able to hear the blade just scraping the combination square. And then if I move that along and do the same thing, and of course if you really want to dial it in and fine tune it, you can use one of those dial gauges that you can run in the mitre slot and up against the blade, and that way you could really fine tune it. Right, so the next thing I want to do is level the throat plate with the cast iron tabletop. Would be nice if they'd included a little hole for you to kind of grab it out with, because trying to get your fingers in this little slot is a little bit awkward. But to level this out, what you've got to do, you'll see there's 10 grub screws all the way round it, and you wind those in or out depending on whether you want to lower and raise the throat plate. What I will say, it's a really fiddly process and you don't want to do it loose, because when you put the screws in it does drop down slightly. So if you was to level it out now and then put the screws in, you'd find that it's probably dropped down. So adjust them, put it in, put a couple of the screws in, and then check the levels. It's a really tedious job, and it involves fitting it, checking it, taking it off, making the adjustments, fitting it again. So it takes a little bit of time. And like I've said, it would be nice if there was some sort of quick release on this throat plate rather than these screws, because I can see me getting annoyed with having to take out all these screws every time I want to change the blade. But I'm happy with that now. Alright, so now I want to check that the blade is 90 degrees to the table. So I'm going to use a square to do that, and I'm going to do it on the left side of the blade because there's more surface area of the cast iron top than there is this side. If I was to check it this side and this throat plate isn't dead flat, then it's going to give an inaccurate reading. So by doing it on this side should give me a more accurate reading. So just push it up against the blade, and you want to do it between the teeth, and that looks absolutely bang on. So I don't have to adjust that. So if you do need to make any adjustments, just remove the access panel on the side of the saw by removing the 4 screws. And if we look inside the saw, you'll see there's a threaded rod with a stop, which also has grub screws on it. And when you change the angle of the blade, whether it be to 45 or back to 90, it will only let you wind it so far and then it hits a stop. So if you do need to make any minor adjustments, just loosen the grub screw on the actual stop itself and then you can tweak it. So next I want to get the fence square with the blade, and I'm hoping you can see on camera at the moment it's touching at the front of the blade and there's a big gap at the back. So I'll show you how to adjust that now. To loosen it, you just undo these 4 Allen bolts at the front of the fence, and what that allows you to do is move the fence around. And then obviously what you want to do is just get it so it's sat against the blade, to the front and back of the blade, which that is. And then without moving it, just tighten the 4 bolts back up. And that is the fence adjusted. So the last job to do is fit the measuring tape. So to do that, I've removed the sub fence. So you've got to take the butterfly clip off and the bolt. Remove your sub fence, and then you want to push it square up against the blade so it's touching the blade, and then lock it down. And then what you can do is, with the fence locked in place, you can actually put this tape through underneath, and you can see where the 0 is on the tape. So you just got a case of lining that up with the 0, and then very carefully peel off at the end without moving the tape and stick it down. So let's see if I can do this. So I'm just going to peel the backing off if I can. It's probably take me half an hour because I've got no nails. Alright, so carefully lift that up, and then what you want to do is make sure that you line it 100% in the right place, like so. And then making sure you've got it in exactly the right place, I can then hopefully stick this bottom bit down, making sure it is in the gap where it should be. And that's not quite. That's it. So I'm going to try that. That looks good. So then what I'm going to do, take the fence off, and hopefully I should be able to peel this backing off, keeping it pulled tight. Make sure it's flat against the bottom of this groove, which it doesn't appear to be. Oh, I don't want to be taking it on and off too many times. You'll probably find out it don't stick back on again. And just before I finish off, I'm just going to put the finish back on, push it up to the blade, and I'm just going to check that we are in the correct location, which we are. So move that out of the way again, and I can finish putting this little bit of tape along. And that is the saw set up. So let's just make at least one cut. Guys, so that is how to set up and adjust the Axminster Craft Tablesaw. Now, do I think it was easy? Yes and no. Most of it was fairly straightforward. There were a couple of areas that I took a little bit longer to get sorted out. The throat plate was one of them. I found it took a lot longer than I thought it would to keep checking the grub screws, changing the levels, putting it back in again, checking it, taking it out, and so on. But I got that done in the end. And the other area that I kind of had a lot of faffing about was leveling out the extension tables, both the side and rear. Although I used the straight edge, which kind of got me flat with the cast iron top, I found that when I was cranking the bolts down, especially on the rear extension table, it was wanting to lift the back edge up. So once I put a straight edge across the saw, front to back, I found it was hitting the back edge, but because this was angled up slightly, it was a big gap. So that took a little bit of finagling. Finagling, is that even a word? I don't know, but you know what I mean. So other than that, the rest of it was fairly straightforward and routine. So I hope this video has been of use to people, especially if you're getting one of these or you've got one of these and you're yet to set it up. As always, I want to thank you for watching. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel and it's your first time here, then please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate that. So as always, thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay safe and you'll see me in the next one. Cheers for watching, guys.